hello to each and every one of you out there. I'm so thrilled you're here and you're spending your time with me, Mr. Michael, in my library for Storytime with Mr. Michael. Today, we're going to be reading Giant Steps to Change the World by Spike Lee and Tonya Lee, illustrated by Sean Qualls. Now, Spike Lee, one of the people who wrote this book, is a super important and arguably the greatest of all American filmmakers. He's directed some of the most important movies ever made. He's directed at least 3 of my all-time favorite movies. And so I'm very excited to read this book. I've never read it before, and so this is going to be pretty exciting. So the title, Giant Steps to Change the World. Giant Steps is also the title of a very important jazz song by saxophone player John Coltrane. So I don't know if they're going to mention that in the book, but I wanted to let you know because the more we understand, the more we know about the books we're reading, the richer an experience becomes, the more we can enjoy them. So there's only one real way to find out what is inside. Let's go ahead and begin. Giant Steps to Change the World by Spike Lee and Tonya Lee, illustrated by Sean Qualls. On some days, your dreams may seem too far away to realize. Listen to the whispers of those that came before, those who had hard days but dared to make their dreams come true. They made giant steps to make the world a better place and left you big shoes to fill. The road won't be easy. People will try to exclude you, but you must leap over hurdles like the Olympic athlete who won the gold, even though he had been relegated to second-class status by the very country he was representing. There will be dark days and lonely nights. Press on through the darkness and keep going, the way the freedom fighter encouraged the enslaved to ride the railroad to safety so that all could be free. You won't always have the answers. Ask for help and guidance, like the teacher who started a school for children who were thought unteachable and turned them into scholars. Others may try to force you to ignore your principles. Stand your ground, like the heavyweight champion who refused to pick up a gun against his fellow human being. If they tell you, no, you are not smart enough, prove them wrong with your fortitude and brilliance, like the neurosurgeon with magic hands, because they were wrong about him and they're wrong about you. Your heart will ache for your countrymen, especially one who is hungry. Go to him and feed him, like the woman who dedicated her life to feeding the hungry and healing the sick and asked for nothing in return. When you witness the ills that poverty and lack of education heap upon a community, lend your voice, like the poet who wrote of the pain and the beauty of neighborhoods forgotten. If you stare at a painting and do not see yourself there, paint your own portrait. Let the world see that you do exist and that you are truly special, like the boy from Brooklyn, whose style was so unique. While some may say you are crazy, wild, or even selfish, you are just like the scientist who had a hard time learning to read, but whose theories became the basis for most modern science. When those whispering in your ear tell you that your country is in need of new leadership and new direction, make a plan and make your voice heard. Like the man who dreamed of his father, found his own vision, and changed the world forever by becoming President of the United States. That first step is key. You may be so unsteady that you actually fall, but if you pick yourself up and keep stepping, your might and courage will be the foundation that impacts us all. So, when you take that first big step, beware of the worst enemy of all, fear. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of being different, fear of being the same. Shoot down that fear. Like the mighty pilots from Tuskegee who shot down their Nazi foes from the sky, take a giant step over that fear, like the giant step one astronaut made on the moon for all mankind. Now it's your turn. Everyone is waiting. What's your next step going to be? The end. Wow. Apparently, just like many of Spike Lee's movies, this kind of emotionally affected Mr. Michael. Guys, that was really beautiful. There's some quotes in the back of this, many of whom are by a lot of the people they were talking about in the book. So this was another non-fiction book. It read like poetry. It was beautiful like poetry, but it was talking about real people who did real things. Some of them are quoted here in the back. I'm going to read some. And I really, really strongly recommend look up all these names, these amazing people. One chance is all you need. Jesse Owens. He was that runner who leaped over all those hurdles. Hold fast to your dreams, for without them life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Langston Hughes. He was that writer, that poet who wrote the stories of his neighborhood. He who is not courageous enough to take risks will accomplish nothing in life. Muhammad Ali said that. He was the boxer who refused to fight as a soldier. Every great dream begins with a dreamer. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars, to change the world. Harriet Tubman, who found a lot of human beings their freedom, said that. And a person who never made a mistake, never tried anything new. Albert Einstein said that. He's the person who struggled in school, but whose scientific theories changed the world. Interestingly enough, all of the people that they mention in this book, all of these amazingly inspirational human beings who were real and lived here in America, were all either immigrants, people who came from another country to live here, or Black Americans, people who were born here with very dark skin. And this is just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to all of them. And I hope each one of you knows that you can use it as inspiration for you to become the best you can be, to change the lives of the people around you, your neighborhood, your city, your town, and even the whole country. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a part of reading Giant Steps to Change the World with me. You guys are the best. Storytime loves you. Mr. Michael loves you. Keep reading, everybody. Stay curious. And I'll see you next time. Bye.